Okay, hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Easy Markets Daily Pitch International with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 19th of April, 2023, guys. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday's morning session where we're gonna have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff, basically. But before we do that, as always, we need to have a quick read of our risk disclaimer. So. The content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendations and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. So I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest. I'll disappear here for a little bit, and we can continue. Okay, guys, I think that yes, my microphone was switched off. So yeah, there we go. Oh, good start. Good start for the first video coming back. So I hope you can hear me now. Honestly, okay. Look, let me recap very quickly. I think that if you were watching right now in silent mode, but you were seeing the chart, changing. Basically, just a quick recap saying that, look, my target has been reached because the target here was the 28,733. That's the previous highest point of previous highest point of this year. We did create a new high for this year, and we overshot that. We tested the 28,793 area. But then, as you can see here, we've created a false breakout. And look, this of course present itself. It could present itself with a nice opportunity here for the bulls if we do break above this territory, above this highlighted zone. Or actually even better, these two levels right here. So if we do start clearing that, this will confirm a forthcoming higher high, and potentially more buyers could join in. Now, again, for that, yes, as I said, we need to see a confirmation push here through this area, and then a new high would be confirmed for this year, and maybe we could go maybe all the way towards this little target right here, the highest point of August of 2022. And if I'm not mistaken, is that the highest point of 2022? No, that's unfortunately not the highest point of 2022. The highest point of 2022 is around right here. So the 29,425 territory. Now, look, I would say this way, if we are looking for some lower levels, and as my microphone was not working right now, I mean, what I was talking about was that, look, maybe this could be seen as a nice rising wedge, and according to all the TA rules, such patterns tend to break to the downside, but again, a confirmation break of the lower side of the rising wedge is required. If we do get that, then yes, more buyers could join in. And again, don't get me wrong, this is not maybe in the perfect rising wedge, because we do kind of have a line here which is kind of crossing this low. So in a way, you could say, hey, maybe you're trying to see something where it's not, but in a way, I'm actually keeping an eye on this 28,393 level, which previously acted as a good area of resistance. Now it could take the role of support. And if we clear this one, then yes, at the same time, we could clear the lower side of the rising wedge. Look, in general, what I'm thinking right now here is that we could see maybe, some bouncing around here in this territory, but below the highlighted zone here, but above the 28,393. If that's the case, then yes, maybe again we'll see how it goes. Maybe actually it'll end up breaking nicely here this upside line and the 28,393 territory. ASX 200. So the Australian index. Look, I talked about this. I think I'll have to remove a few lines here because again it's getting a little bit crowded. But before I remove all the lines, I just want to say that, hey, look, this 7,395, or in general the 7,400 level, continues to provide good resistance. So look, what I'm going to do here is I think that it's time to remove all the drawings and start fresh. First of all, I'm going to bring back that level again, the 7,395, together with the 7,400 zone, so 404. But look, in general, what I'm looking at here is of course, the area around that 7,000 psychological 7,400 zone. So if that gets violated and that gets broken, then yes, of course, this will confirm a forthcoming higher high, and potentially more buyers could join in here, and we could travel all the way towards this territory, the highest point of 2023, the current highest point of 2023. And then we'll, of course, take it from there. For the downside, look, from the very short-term perspective, I would say you could keep an eye on something around here, around these lines, these two lines, the 7,337 and the 7,349. If we do drop below this, then this may open the door towards a move towards the 50-day EMA here, initially, of course, and then we'll take it from there. Of course, there are a bunch of key areas that I'm watching here, the 7,217 here, or the this barrier right here, the 7,293. Look, they're all good levels, they're all fine, but let's not rush into anything. Of course, for now, I would say, look, let me just highlight the area that I'm watching. Basically, there we go. So this is the area that I'm watching. So look, in a way, I would say, yes, we're currently in a range, or could be in a range, but I think I need more confirmation to kind of go with that idea of a range. So that's why I would say for now, okay, I'm playing the waiting game, but at the same time, it could be quite interesting. Right, Nifty 50, the Indian index. Look, from the technical perspective, everything's working out perfectly. So what I talked about previously, I said that, look, keep your eyes on this highlighted zone. This is this was my target. After I said that if we break the downside line and push above all the EMAs here on my daily chart, then yes, I'll aim for this territory right here. Well, yes, and I said that if it holds, and it did, because we got some false breakouts here, and it did, we may see a bit of a drift back down, initially aiming for the EMAs, the 100, which is, as you can see, acting as a very nice area of support. Maybe if we do drop below this a little bit, the 50, the 200 could be nice targets. But then maybe I'm actually going to end up aiming for the downside line here that was broken, but a test from above. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, guys. Also stalled a little bit here and still stalling. Look, after I said, previously, if you remember, I said that keep your eyes on this little territory. If we clear it to the upside here, if we clear that 33,878 zone, then yes, I will get a little bit more excited with the upside, and then we could travel all the way towards that 34,490 territory or something like that. Look, so far we're kind of halfway, I would say, or we were halfway. We drifted a little bit, we corrected a little bit lower, but we're still above the upper side of the 33, above this little highlighted zone. I think now it's time to change the little highlighted zone and do it this way, because it seems like we're having a nice little range here. So yes, look. For now, I will stick to this. I will, of course, reuse some of these lines, I think. Yep, I think I'll grab this one. Recycle, guys. Always recycle. There we go. There was a hidden message for you there. Okay, so basically, look. If you want to go higher, certainly push through that 34,269.70 zone. Could be ideal here. Let me just put this one on the chart here, there as well. So yep, above this territory, above the current highest point of April. If we clear that one, great. I'll go further north, because look, my next target is this one, as I've mentioned before, the area between the, or should I say actually the area around the 34,500 level. And yeah, that could be a nice good target. I'm going to aim for that one, and then we'll go from there. Look, for now, we're stuck in this. If you like trading ranges, this could be an opportunity for you, but if you don't, then yes, I would say you can wait here a little bit. Let me just zoom and fix this arrow. There we go. So you can wait a little bit. You could maybe consider maybe some downside as well, but again, the downside, again, a breakthrough the 33,878 territory would be required. But even then, we would class that move as a temporary correction before another possible leg of buying, because again, we could see a drift lower here, a correction towards the EMAs, maybe a hold up here, a rebound, and a push back up. So something basically like this. So look, for now, I will just kind of draw my arrow a little bit shorter here. Yes, because again, I don't like to see the future way too far, because again, we don't have a crystal ball, unfortunately. But look, the situation here with the Dow in general, of course, everybody's now worried about the Fed, and well, actually, we're always worried about the Fed. It's not something new, and basically, look, I mean, if you remember, I talked about the Fed funds, and the way the kind of the expectation is, the probabilities of the target rate. If you remember, like 3 weeks ago, we were kind of still on this one. Like even there at some point, we were it was more higher probability for no rate hike. Now we're getting closer to the to the Fed meeting, and of course, yeah, we're getting there's more probability for a rate hike here, for of course for 25 basis points. But this is what we were saying, and I was saying in the beginning as well. If you remember, if you watched my videos when we had inflation numbers as well, I said, look, even if inflation goes still a little bit on the lower side, the Fed will stick to the rates. I mean, to the rate hikes. And yes, some banks did not. Some central banks across the world of the developed countries, yeah, they didn't really go with a rate hike. Some of them, like New Zealand central bank, yes, Canada's as well. So, but this time here, I think that yeah, the market is still the stock market is still strong, and you know, although inflation is declining, I think that the Fed will stick to the guns, and you know, and don't be surprised if, let's say, the May we're gonna go closer to the May meeting. I think we what we have like let's say we have exactly 2 weeks until then, right? Until the 3rd of May. So we have exactly 2 weeks. Don't be surprised, for example, if suddenly we have a shift here towards a 50 basis point increase. You know, we'll see some probabilities, maybe, you know, so basically this will disappear, maybe, or actually will remain, but you know, we could see an increase, or actually, yeah, maybe it will disappear, and then there will be a 50% chance, you know. So again, let's wait and see. Let's not rush into anything, of course, but certainly we'll, after, you know, we're watching the stock market, we're watching the, in general, the instruments here. So Dow, as I said, yeah, that's the game plan. I'm waiting for a clear breakout, and then yeah, I'm gonna simplify my life a little bit. I'm just gonna stick to the levels. Nasdaq 100, of course. This one's a little bit on the weird side because look, we broke the downside line. We traveled higher, but this, I said to you, keep your eyes on that 13,220 zone. Somehow it's good, doing a good job. Maybe because previously it acted as a good area of resistance here back on the 26th of August of 2022. However, somehow this level is, yeah, doing a good job. Not like, for example, maybe, you know, the highest point of August or something like that. No, but this one, this level so far, it did provide good support previously, but then we broke it. Then now it started providing good resistance. Look, I'm gonna stick to it, and to be honest, yes, the once we get a clear break, and not only a clear break, I would like to see the body of the daily candle staying above this area. If we do get that, great. I'll go higher at this point. We're just getting these teasers, and yeah, we're getting teased here, and yeah, that's not really working for anybody. Neither the bears even, because the bears are actually thinking, hey, I will probably get a little bit more excited with the downside if we see a drop below this little hurdle here, the 12,950, not to mention the psychological 13,000 mark itself. But yeah, if we do drop below this, then I'll go lower, although my arrow is drawn towards that 12,635, but actually I'm gonna stick to the 50-day EMA initially, and then we'll take it from there. The German index, DAX, guys. So, looking at the picture here, yes, so far grinding higher. I mean, not something major crazy or something like that. No, but hey, for now it's working. Look, I talked about this idea previously that if we push above the 15,891, I'll go higher. And look, as long as we stay above this area, I'm gonna continue aiming to the upside. My ideal target is the area between the 16,274 294 levels here, and yeah, then I'll take it from there. But at the moment, yeah, we're seeing on the futures here, we're seeing a little bit of a retracement. It's okay, look, it's all fine, but as long as we stay above the 15,891 territory right here, then yes, we could continue going to the upside, something like that. So if we do fall back below this in the short run, I'll take it a little bit a neutral stand. But if we start falling below this highlighted zone of mine, which was previously, which I looked at as a kind of an upper side of the range, but not a very attractive range, but hey, nevertheless, look, then yes, I will consider maybe a bit of a retracement here if we do fall and stay below that area. Dollar index. So very quickly, okay, look, this, I need to adjust this very quickly. I think I need to remove all the drawings and have a fresh start and have a fresh look. First of all, I'm gonna mark these levels again very quickly. The 100.67 and the current lowest point of this year near the 100.42. So yeah, that the previous level that I mentioned was the previous lowest point of this year. So now, look, we rebounded, we're pushing higher, we're actually even climbing back above this little hurdle here, the 100.09 territory. and we're currently staying above it. So look, this is going to be my reference point here. So if we're going to continue to trade above this area, I will continue aiming to the upside. However, I would like to see a move, not like that, this like this. I would like to see a move above this this downside line right here, just to be a little bit more on the safe side. If we clear that, then yes, I'll get a little bit more comfortable with higher levels, and we could see a push, you know, towards the 50, the 100, the 200, and then we'll take it from there. But look, in either way, basically what I need here is a nice good breakout here, and then yes, I'll get a little bit more excited with higher levels. Let me just increase that a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so that's the simple game plan. As long as we remain in this territory, I'm just observing the price action, because for the downside, I would like to see a drop somewhere below this territory first, and then we could take it from there. Now then, gold, boom, drop. Drop we're seeing right now, and again, we're testing that 1990 territory. Look, what I talked about previously to you, and said, first of all, let me just remove this, push these big arrows in the way, out of the way. Look, what I said to you previously, that maybe we have ourselves a nice rising channel here, and so far it seems to be the case. It seems to be, yes, playing out nicely. Look, if it continues to kind of stick to that, great. It makes my life easier. But if we do fall right now, let's say below the 1990 zone, from the short-term perspective, I'm gonna lean a little bit more towards the downside. But of course, if the lower side of the rising channel holds, then yes, I will still stick to the upside. However, if this level here, the 1990, continues to hold and it continues to provide good good resistance, good support, then yes, maybe a bit of a rebound here, push back up could be possible. But I would like to see actually a move back above the well, this is where I think I'll adjust my level here a little bit. I think that ideally now we need to look at the 2015 zone, because again, as you can see here, it provided good support and resistance. So just to be a little bit more on the safe side, 2015 territory could be that nice, good little target to keep an eye on for the upside. But if you're feeling a little bit more adventurous, you can see that the 2003 zone was doing a good job as well. So if we push above it, yes, there is a good chance we could see a further move north here. But actually, I would like to see, like I said, just for that extra confirmation, 2015 territory could be a nice level to keep an eye on. Now, silver. Silver is giving us also a bit of a retracement here. So far, so good. Look, I mean, I talked about this, and so far I'm sticking to the idea here that I've mentioned. Look, let's see if we can get a hold up near this upside line. If we can get a rebound from it, great. I will go higher. I will go to the upside. But if we start breaking the upside line, if we start dropping, well, this is where a few adjustments have to be made, I think. This is where if we start dropping somewhere below this territory, the territory between the 24.73 and 63 levels, then yes, I will get a little bit more excited with the downside. Now then, for now, like I said, that's the game plan. I'm going to stick to it. And yes, as long as we remain above this upside line, I'm still cautiously bullish. But if we start breaking it and we drop below this highlighted zone, which I'm going to highlight right now, that's where, yes, I'm going to get a little bit more interested with the downside. Oil, WTI oil, look, we drifted back below my highlighted zone right here, and we also fell back below the 200-day EMA. Okay, so look, what's next? Basically, I'm still sticking to my upside line here, taken from the low of the 20th of March. Of course, yes, we had an attempt here to move higher, but yeah, it failed. If I look at the weekly chart, you'll see that this area, the highlighted zone, provided fantastic resistance. And also in the weekly chart, the 50-day EMA, look at this. The 50-day EMA provided fantastic resistance, and yes, and we drifted back to the downside. So basically, this is where, the moment is always that you need to kind of keep a close eye on the barrier. Yes, if we break it and we continue to trade above, let's say in this case we would continue to trade above it, then that would, yes, that could attract a few more buyers into the game. So look, but don't get me wrong, nothing is lost yet. We do have still an opportunity to move higher, but only if we do rebound from this short-term tentative upside support line taken from the low of the 20th of March. If it's too tentative, then well, keep your eyes on the downside scenario. Now, again, in general, as I mentioned before, in general, I'm a kind of a strong believer in more downside in oil. However, what do I know? Because again, look, it could go either way. But of course, the economy suddenly starts slowing down, then yes, of course, we could see oil also, the price of oil declining a little bit more maybe, but maybe going back to the 60s or something like that. But look, for now, at this point, from the technical perspective, because that's what I'm looking at here, we had a push higher. We failed to move further north. We drifted back down and we fell back below the 200-day EMA, and now we're approaching this upside line. And also, look, in general, I would say you should kind of keep an eye on this territory, this whole kind of highlighted zone. Let me just reuse. I think I'm going to reuse this. Let me just get rid of that. And I'm going to reuse this line right here because I really like it, and I want to see if this is my idea is going to work out. So basically, my idea here is right now that if we drift lower, we test, let's say, for example, we violate the upside line. Okay, and then we start, pushing back up. So in a way, maybe the upside line would not be like, let's say, the most important thing to watch here. And in general, I never said that is the most important thing to watch here, but maybe this level would be an interesting one, the 79 zone, which I previously talked about. Because again, maybe this here could be, seen as a nice little neckline. Well, if that's the case, then hey, well, it could be a nice. Let me just minimize this a little bit. So if this is a neckline, not this one, but this one right here, of a potential head and shoulders pattern, this is what I'm trying to lean to, then yes, this is good. This is where my idea, my kind of preference of seeing this one lower could, play out. So, for example, we drift lower, we test this area right here, rebound, push back up, oscillate around the 200-day EMA a little bit, and then drift back down. But again, look, for this scenario to work out, everything has to be perfect. And in this case, yes, I'm kind of like I said, I'm keeping an eye on this territory right here. If we do get a drop below the 79 territory, I'll get a little bit more excited because again, this scenario could be working out. Now jumping into a few cryptos, Ethereum. Look, I mean, yeah, everybody was kind of jumping into the cryptos lately. Look, another thing, my idea worked out and I'm happy about it, but not only that, it actually overworked out because my target was the 2019 zone, and yeah, we managed to reach that. We managed to clear that. So what's next? Look, what I'm gonna do here is this. If we're going to stay right now somewhere above that 2000 territory, I'm going to continue targeting the upside. Because again, we're still above some upside lines here. I think we're above a bunch of tentative upside support lines, which, to be honest, okay, I'm gonna keep them on the chart for now, but okay, they're all very tentative and they're all very, kind of, I would say, we need to be careful with them. Like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna keep them on the chart for now. It's getting messy a little bit, but look, I'm gonna stick to them for now. I want to see if one of them at least are gonna work out or not. And in this case right now, I'm keeping an eye on this steeper upside support line taken from the low the 10th of March, which is a little bit on the tentative side. If we do, rebound from that, great, I will go to the upside. If we start breaking them and we start falling back below the 2000 territory, this could lead to another correction here, because again, look, we do have this other upside line, which could be in a way, playing out, but around here we have the 50-day EMA, which is coinciding nicely with this upside support line, which I've drawn. So yeah. But long story short, for now, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the upside, even if we do retrace a little bit, as long as we stay above the psychological 2000 zone. Litecoin, very quickly on that one. Litecoin is also, yeah, beautiful. Look, I mean, I talked about this. We broke the upper side of the range. Great. What I said previously, that my next target is the 105.68 territory, marked by the current highest point of this year. And so far, we're on the right track, so I'm going to stick to that. And also, we're still above the 98 territory, 98.33. We're also above the psychological 100 level, so everything's looking quite fine here for Litecoin bulls. And yes, like I said, my next target is around here. For the downside, well, this is the interesting bit. For the downside, I would like to see now a drop back below the upper side of the previous range here, which is around the 94.75 territory. And if we get that, then yes, I'll go a little bit more to the downside. Now, let's jump into Forex a little bit here. So Forex, look, I've mentioned this previously before I left for my break. Look, I said that if we do push back above the lower side of the rising channel here, I will consider a move higher. I will consider initially a move towards these EMAs, the 50, the 100, and the 200-day EMA, which is around that 0.6793 territory, not far from there. Look, beautiful, honestly, perfect workout here. Now the question is, what can we do next? First of all, I'm going to lift my arrow here, and for the upside, I'm going to stick to the 0.6793 territory. If we clear that and we stay above it, I'll get a little bit more excited with further upside. The rising channel, well, it has to go. It's no longer needed, and I think that we can redraw this a little bit, and I think that we can just draw this upside support line. And now, in this case, I would say we could be forming a possible ascending triangle in a way. For now, that's just an idea. But before that, even we could be forming a nice little range. So, although I don't like ranges, but hey, I do like the breakouts out of the range. So for me, for example, what I'm watching here is for the upside, the 0.6793 territory, approximately around here. For the downside, I am keeping close eye on this 0.6625 zone, and then we could take it from there. So if we do drop below this territory, then yes, I will go lower. For now, I'm just, like I said, observing the price action, and as long as it remains in this area, I'm just, yeah, not really doing much. AUDJPY. So yeah, so far, look, so good. I talked about this, and I said that, hey, if you remember when we reversed lower, said maybe this was going to be, a beginning of a a higher low and a higher high, and yeah, so far it's the case. We broke the downside line. Great. We pushed above the 50-day EMA. Great. What I said to you then, that my next target is the 90.23 level. Great. I reached that. If you want to go further north, well, basically at this point, yes, I'm leaning towards this downside line taken from the high of the 13th of September of last year. But of course, to get more excited with higher levels, a break of that downside line is needed, and a push up of the 200-day EMA as well is required. Until then, I would say yes, from the very short-term perspective, I am leaning still towards the upside, but yeah, I want to be a little bit more careful. Probably I'm just going to wait for this activity. I want to see how it's going to end here. Look, in general, I would say this way: as long as we stay above the 100-day EMA, yes, my next target is the 200-day EMA, and then I'll take it from there. Simple as that. If we start falling back below the 100-day EMA and back below this 90.23 territory, maybe we could see a bit of a retracement here, a larger retracement towards this upside line, and then we'll take it from there. If it holds, great. If it doesn't, great. Because either way, we'll just, position ourselves correctly and try to take advantage of it. But only risking what we can afford to lose, guys. A hidden but not a hidden message there for you. USDJPY, very quickly on that one. Look, I mean, I also talked about this one, as I said, that I'm keeping an eye on this little range right here, between the 130.54 and the 133.55 levels. Well, we did get a nice breakout here through the upper side. We finally stayed above it, and yeah, we are now drifting higher. And to be honest, I'm gonna aim for the 135.1226 territory, somewhere around here. That's my next target, and yeah, I'm just gonna keep it simple as that. And my next target will be around here, between these two levels that I just mentioned. As long as we stay above the 200-day EMA. Yep, that's the case. USDCAD, very quickly on down. Oh, and sorry, by the way, about the downside scenario. With the downside scenario, this is an interesting one. Look, I have this upside support line, very tentative, short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 5th of April. However, in order for me to get comfortable with the downside, maybe a break of this would be needed. Maybe also a drop below that 133.55 territory that I looked at previously as a good area of resistance. If we drop below this, then maybe this could attract a few more sellers into the game and we could drift lower. USD CAD, now this one, okay. Look, after I talked about this previously, said that if we clear this 1.3411 territory, I'll go lower. Look, my next target was the area near or I should say in between the 1.3262 and 74 levels, and yeah, we kind of didn't really reach it. I was really hoping to get to that area, but we reached around. We did. Basically we did around 75 maybe percent of my route towards that level, so I would say good result in general, although I was hoping to see maybe a test of this. But look, not everything, I'm not giving up actually, because look, if this 200-day EMA is going to continue to provide resistance, I mean, if this is going to continue giving us that nice hold up, I think that there could be, well, again, what I think is maybe, might not be correct. So there is a possibility we could see, a drift back to the downside. So look at it this way. For now, this is a very nice area of resistance. Previously, it acted as a good area of support. Now resistance. Let's see if it holds. And another thing, let's see if this is not going to form something of a bearish flag here, because we have our pole. We are having this little gradual correction within the within the pole. And if that gets a hold up, yes, like I said, if it continues to get a hold up, maybe a bit of a decline back down here could be possible. And yeah, of course, keep your eyes on oil as well. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one and tricky one for this pair, because if oil suddenly declines, then yes, we could see USD CAD traveling back up here, pushing back above the 200-day EMA, moving back maybe towards these levels. But again, we'll take a look at that later. For now, I'm just kind of, like I said, sticking to the 200-day EMA. I want to see if it's going to provide good resistance or not. If it does, great. A bit of a move back down could be possible. If it doesn't, if we stay above it, then yes, there could be a larger move here to the upside towards the 150-day EMAs. GBPNZD, guys. So my rising veg gets violated and gets, so the upper side of it gets violated. So first of all, basically, I think that it's time to acknowledge that it's no longer rising veg. I think this is just, we can stick to the upside line here, and that's it. So look, but in general, one thing that's working out here on my side is the fact that I said to you previously, look, I'm going to keep an eye on this downside line taken from the high, the 3rd of February of 2022. And yes, this could be a nice, good target to watch. If it holds, a nice decline here back down could be possible. If it doesn't hold, well, basically, yes, this may open the door towards some higher levels, especially, for example, this one, the highest point of October of 2022, or in general towards the highest point of 2022 near the 2.05 territory, approximately around there. But again, for that, we need to see a nice good clearance of this downside line. And not only that, we would need to see the pair staying above that. So for now, we're just keeping a close eye on this one. And yes, like I said, I'm not excluding also a correction to the downside with here in this, and you know, in this situation, and let's say a correction from this downside line, and a push back to this upside support line, and then we'll take it from there. GBPUSD. Oh, by the way, UK inflation came out. Let me just quickly double check that one. Yes. So let me just quickly double check that. So okay, right. CPI year on year, an increase from, oh well, the forecast was for 9.8, but it came out at 10.1. However, although it sounds, yes, it doesn't sound very good here for the stock market, but it's still on a decline, because again, the previous one was at 10.4. Let me check the core. The core CPI is there. Core CPI year on year came out as previous. I mean, their expectation was for a lower one, but came out as previous 6.2. The expectation was for 6.0. Okay, look, we're getting a little boost here on, you know, GBPUSD. Look, previously I talked about the range here. I think I need to adjust a few things here. Look, I think, yes, it's time to remove all the drawings and start fresh and see what the hell we're getting here, basically. Well, first of all, I'm going to bring back this level. Yes, it got violated a few times, but at the same time, it's also sometimes acting as a good area of support and resistance, and occasionally does that. So this 1.2446, 47 is acting as exactly like that. Look, for the upside, I would need to see a push above the 1.2547. Simple as that, guys. I mean, I'm not gonna really you know, examine anything else, but like, yeah, if we get a break through this barrier, I'll get a little bit more excited with higher levels. Oh, I can see there in the chat room, Mark Cormick. Good morning to you too. I hope you're having a wonderful start of Wednesday. I hope everybody else who's joining in right now and have been watching me for the past, what, 42 minutes. Well, congratulations for sticking around, guys. I mean, that's good patience. If you're patient like that, then you're able to trade. Look, good morning to everybody else as well who's joining in right now. So we did already kind of go through a lot of instruments. So if you missed some of them and you're interested, you can always do a quick recap, you know, a rewind after the video is posted. But yeah, look, coming back to GBPUSD, in general, I would say this way. For now, from the very short-term perspective, as long as it stays below this 1.2446, 47, I will consider maybe a move back to the 50-day EMA. In general, on the bigger picture, we are kind of, you know, maybe forming, we have this upside line right here, which could be, you know, still kind of valid. Maybe it's a tentative one, don't get me wrong, but nevertheless, still, yes, a good line to watch. In general, I'm still keeping an eye on the EMAs here instead. So the 50, the 100, and the 200-day EMA for the downside. These are my targets from the short for the. Just bear with me one moment. So yeah, this is, like I said, this is my downside scenario, and yeah, if we do get a hold up somewhere around here, around these EMAs, maybe a rebound could be possible. Honest Mr. Please, can you analyze EURUSD from 15-minute time frame and to sell now or to buy? Look, this is a topic where I will pick up on EURUSD in a bit. The only thing is that unfortunately, I cannot tell you to buy or to sell, because again, this is, you know, what the way I see the market. Maybe you don't see it this way, and basically, it's really these sessions, these webinars are kind of meant to for you kind of to maybe try to get your opinion, you know, to get your establish your own opinion what to do basically. So I give you scenarios where, you know, with possible outcomes, you know, maybe let's say you wanted some confirmation, maybe you were seeing the same thing, but maybe you didn't see the same thing, and I'm just telling you that. So unfortunately, look, I can look into the 15-minute chart for you, but in terms of telling you like where to buy or to sell, unfortunately, I cannot really do that. But yeah, look, like I said, I'll pick up you know, with Euro USD in a bit. EURCHF, which is quite interesting. Look, I mean, previously I talked about that and said that if we do drop below the 0.9848 zone right here, I will lean a little bit more towards the downside. My next target is the 0.98 zone. We reached that. Perfect, great. But as you can see, my arrow here is a little bit bigger. So what I can do right now is, let's say, look, we did retrace back up, but we're still getting a hold up around that 0.9848 zone right here. It's providing good resistance. Now, if you want to go lower, I would say yes, drop below the 0.98 territory may attract a few more sellers into the game here, because a forthcoming lower low would be confirmed, and then we could try and target the 0.97 territory, or maybe a little bit above that. For the upside, well, because we're still below this downside resistance line right here, for the upside, I would need to see a push maybe at least back above the 50-day EMA, or maybe even better, above the 0.9891. But even then, I would still class this move as a temporary correction before another possible leg of selling, because of this downside line. But initially, I will be targeting that. If we break the downside line, great, we could go higher. But at this point, look, for the upside, even if we climb back into this territory right here, I'm still going to be on the neutral side. EURJPY, look, so far so good. I talked about this barrier right here. This was initially my target, the 146.73. What I said then, that look, we're still above this upside line here, taken from the low of the 24th of March. We are still above this hurdle, the 146.74. We're above this upside line. So basically, look, what I'm leaning to here is that as long as we stay above this territory, I'm going to target this 148.40 zone marked by the highest point of October of 2022, and then we'll take it from there. For the downside, I need to see a drop below this territory right here, the 145.57, 68 levels here in between those. Look, depending on how this is going to play out, maybe actually I'm going to lift my arrow here and maybe put it somewhere here. But for now, I need to watch this. And look, as long as while we're here, this is my downside scenario. If we move a little bit more to the upside, to the right, maybe then, yes, like I said, I'll lift my arrow like this here. But for now, I'm just observing the price action. I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards the upside. And finally, EURUSD, guys. So EURUSD, look, in general, I talked about this previously. Initially, I talked about the potential idea of a rising wedge. I have to admit, again, the rising wedge did not work out because the upper side of it got violated, so we pushed higher. We cleared the 1.1033 zone, okay, but then we drifted back to the downside. So this upside line has to go. We're only going to stay with this upside support line, taken from the low of the 24th of March. And again, don't get me wrong, it's a little bit on the tentative side because, again, we have another upside line, which I'm keeping an eye on here, is this one. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not very ideal too, because in general, nothing is ideal, unfortunately, in trading. So, look, we have to kind of adjust the way along the way. So for now, the picture here, I would say, let me get rid of this upside line. It's going to get a little bit more complicated. Look, for the let's say for the downside, I need to see a drop somewhere below this territory, and also a readjustment here. I need to see a drop somewhere below this hurdle here, the 1.0909 level. If we do drop below this, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low, and I'm going to target the 50-day EMA initially, not on my daily chart, by the way. the 1.0831. This is going to be my next target if we do break the upside line and we fall below the 1.0909 territory and we stay below it. Not only a false breakout, but we stay below it. For the upside, look, so far, somehow this 1.0973 territory is doing a good job. It's providing resistance. Also, it did provide support previously, then resistance too. So yeah, I'm keeping a close eye on it. And now, if we do push back above the 1.0973 territory right here in the short run, I will lean a little bit more to the upside. And now, 1.1033, although I'm still having it on the chart here, but actually I'm gonna mark now the current highest point of this year. Near the 1.1076, and then we'll take it from there. If we clear that one, great, I'll go further north. And in terms of the 15-minute chart, guys, look, we're having a nice rebound right now. Some sort of a something is pushing it back up here. In general, from the very short-term perspective, look, you can see that it seems like we are in a range. Let me just double check. So yeah, something like that. We're currently in a range. We're rebounding from this is on the 15-minute chart. So on us, mister, I hope this helps for you. But look, for me at this point, I'm just observing the price action. Whenever we're in the range, I don't know if my viewers here know, I keep on saying I really don't like ranges. If you know how to trade ranges, congratulations, guys. This is for you. If you don't, honestly, wait for a breakout, and then it could be a little bit more, a little bit easier. But again, unfortunately, nothing is easy with the markets. So look, this 1.0950 territory did provide good support. We did, fall below it initially a few times, but actually it was false. These were false breakouts, and we're now pushing back up. At this point, look how the way it's looking to me, and to me it looks like kind of a nice range where we could kind of play around here for a while until we get that clear breakout. And once we get that breakout, and for me, let's say a breakout could come on a push above the 1.0984 territory right here, and if we clear that, then yes, I'll get a little bit more excited with the upside. At this point, I'm just observing the price action, and so yeah, this is from the 15-minute chart perspective. But yeah, coming back to the daily, again, this upper side of the range actually is coinciding nicely with my target that I've mentioned, the 1.0. Yeah, let me just jump back into this one right here. This 1.0983, 84. It's sitting here nicely, comfortably. So 1.0983, yes, could be a nice good target to watch. So yeah, from the shorter term perspective, that's kind of the game plan. Let's see if that's going to play out or not. For now, as long as we remain above this upside line, there is still potential for the upside. Some of you might say, but hey, Darius, maybe this is a nice little rising channel. Yes, could be the case, but you could keep that in mind. Let's say, for example, if we do push through this 1.0983, 84 zone, you could keep an eye on it. You could, target some higher levels, maybe even the upper side of this rising channel. But let's go slowly. Let's not rush into anything, guys, and let's take it, from there. So I hope that helps. I really appreciate you guys joining in and watching this one till the end. I have to jump off right now, guys. So thank you very much. I really, like I said, we're gonna be back with the videos tomorrow. Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. Friday. Yes. So join me tomorrow, as always, 6 o'clock GMT time, for another round of technical analysis on some of these instruments. Some new ones we'll pick up. We'll see what the market has prepared for us. And then, yeah, we'll take it from there, guys. So I hope you have a fantastic trading day. Stay safe. Have your stop losses in place. Risk only what you can afford to lose, and everything will be fine. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. Uh-oh, you just broke a digital image cursing us all to 7 years of market volatility. Undo by subscribing to our channel.